Before the World Series was decided, before free agency was open for business, before Shohei Ohtani picked a team, and before Giancarlo Stanton landed in New York, the Red Sox announced Alex Cora as their new manager. That was nearly 2 months ago, and we've learned nothing about the team since. Sure, the Sox filled in the blanks of their coaching staff, and they've made a few fringe changes to their 40-man roster. But not a single change of substance. And it was okay, frustrating, but okay, for a while because the baseball world was mostly stuck in neutral. The Red Sox were not in a great position to engage the trade market, and the free agent market was stalled, so they were stuck. As of yesterday, it was time to get out of the mud. The free agent market began to see, at last, some high-end movement when first baseman Carlos Santana and infielder Zach Cozart agreed to 3-year deals. Santana went to the Phillies, who have been surprisingly aggressive, and Cozart went to the Angels, who completed an infield makeover in 48 hours. At least we know it's possible to get something done this winter. Now the Red Sox are in a difficult spot. Negotiation. And it surely didn't get much easier with Santana getting $60 million, a larger-than-expected sum that sets a lofty bar for J.D. Martinez and Eric Hosmer. Their agent, Scott Boras, isn't one to be outdone, and if he's playing his usual game of chicken, the Red Sox have little choice but to play along. Dombrowski built his career and reputation on wheeling and dealing, and you can bet he has a plan in place, but I bet he'd prefer to have pieces in place. 3 forces to consider: you're either in, or you're out. Give Derek Jeter's new ownership group credit for this much: the Marlins have set a course and they're in rebuild mode. Teams like the Padres, White Sox and Royals seem stuck in between, and most of the AL East seems to have lost its compass. Will the Rays, Orioles and Blue Jays ultimately hold their own fire sales? Those 3 teams could set the third base market with Evan Longoria, Manny Machado and Josh Donaldson, but so far, they've been as quiet as the Red Sox. What's the point of that? Pick a direction. The Red Sox have a direction: they're just negotiating price. That's perfectly reasonable, but there would be nothing worse than ending up stranded in no man's land. The balance of power may be shifting. Only 5 American League teams had a winning record last year. Literally, that was the standard to make the playoffs, but at least 8 seem to be making win-o moves this winter. The Yankees stole the show with a Stanton trade, and they still might be in the market for another blockbuster or starting pitcher. But the Yankees were also 1 game from the World Series last season. It's hardly a surprise to see them get aggressive with a win-o approach. More interesting are the aggressive maneuvers of the Angels, Cardinals, Phillies and Rangers, 4 teams not far removed from postseason success, all of whom missed the playoffs last year. The Mariners and Twins are also making smaller moves to improve. If the Yankees have enough to regain control of the AL East, the Red Sox have little choice but to keep an eye on every other team in the league because they might need one of those wild card spots. Are they better than the Angels and Rangers right now? Lead, follow or get out of the way. It started with Doug Fister signing with Texas. Then a few more mid-rotation starters came off the board. Then a few middle-inning relievers. Drip, drip, drip. As of noon yesterday, Tyler Chatwood's contract worth $38 million was the biggest free agent signing of the winter. Within hours, Santana and Cozart had matched or exceeded it. The free agent class is finally seeing some top-of-the-market movement, but Martinez, Hosmer, Mike Moustakas and Lorenzo Cain are all still available. So are Yu Darvish, Jake Arrieta and Wade Davis. The team best positioned to start the biggest dominoes falling is the Red Sox, who have the needs and the means to sign either Martinez or Hosmer, and maybe both. This market developed slowly, but as it picks up steam, the Red Sox have to lead the way or risk falling too far behind to ever catch up.